The horrific dog attack that killed a jogger in Metamora Township last month sent shockwaves throughout a community and sparked a debate about dangerous pets on neighborhood streets.
And just days before that jogger was killed, a local woman was attacked by two dogs the police put back on the street days later. 7 investigator Ross Jones has the alarming story.
Really, it was just a beautiful Thursday night, actually, and my boyfriend and I went for a walk on this very street.
Ellen Mohan had made the walk through her Northfield Township neighborhood hundreds of times before, and along with her 3-year-old dog Zoe, she and her boyfriend were expecting this summer stroll would be like all the others. They were wrong.
It happened just in a blink of an eye.
What happened next has been replayed in her mind over and over again when 2 neighborhood pit bulls approached her and her dog and suddenly attacked.
I can't even put it into words. I mean, it is your absolute worst nightmare. They tore my dog up in front of me. I mean, there was blood everywhere. Her intestines were coming out. I mean, it was horrifying.
With her dog heavily bleeding, Ellen and her boyfriend tried to rescue her from the 2 dogs savagely attacking it.
And that's how I got my hands all messed up, by the pit bulls biting me and trying to save my own dog. There's blood all over the place. I don't know if it's me, if it's my dog, and we just pull her up into my arms along with my boyfriend, and we just start running down the street.
After 90 minutes at the animal hospital, doctors couldn't save Zoe, who was euthanized later that night. Ellen was rushed to U of M's emergency room. Doctors there wouldn't let her leave after the first day or even the second.
For 5 days. Yeah.
5 days you were
5 days I was in the hospital from this.
She said they found 50 lacerations on her hands and worried she might contract rabies. They kept her under observation for nearly a week. Police told her that the pit bulls would be quarantined at the Huron Valley Humane Society pending a judge's ruling. Where are the dogs right now?
They are on this very street, about 8 houses away.
And that's where we found them, both of them, back on the same street where weeks earlier they had made 2 vicious attacks.
We were surprised that the dogs were released as quickly as they were.
William Wagner is Northfield Township's chief of police. It was his officer who impounded the dogs, but also made what Ellen says was a dangerous mistake. He checked a box on an intake form that allowed the dogs to be transferred to a home quarantine. They were.
They killed 1 dog. They put a woman in a hospital for a week. Why would an officer give these dogs even a chance to return back to the same neighborhood where this happened?
It's difficult for me to answer that because it's all part of the report. I'm not sure I'm positive it's not as clear as that, and it certainly wasn't the officer's intention that night.
Are you satisfied that this was handled in the best way?
No. We had different expectations of how this would be handled.
Chief Wagner believes the decision to release the dogs was made by the Humane Society, but officials there say they just followed police orders. Wagner would not say if his officer made an error, but said Ellen's anxiety today is well placed.
Would you be comfortable if these dogs were next door to you?
I haven't seen the dogs.
But you know what they've done.
I do know what they've done. I probably wouldn't be comfortable with that.
Ellen says she's talked to other neighbors who say before last month's attack, the dogs had mauled them too. Today, she and her boyfriend say they won't walk down the street anymore, not while the dogs are still there. The police department, she says, made a terrible decision.
I don't think it is a risk worth taking. I know the Humane Society is overcrowded. I am a huge animal lover. I even like pit bulls. I shouldn't be scared to walk down my own street, and I am, because they're there.
Well, not for much longer. Earlier tonight, Chief Wagner told me he has obtained a signed court order to finally get those dogs removed, and removed today. This should not have happened, he says, and insists it will not happen again. Ellen has hired an attorney and is seeking reimbursement for lost wages and her dog's vet costs. Right now, the county prosecutor is weighing potential charges against the owners of the pit bulls. They did not speak to us for this story. I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.
Wow, just kind of chilling.
All right, Ross, thank you for that update. It is a scary thing if you're in a neighborhood and you can't even feel safe walking down the
Right,
street.
you don't know if they'll get out again and attack again.
It is so up to the owners of those dogs to keep the dogs in check.